We've got some half-price garden lights, SPDs, Artful DDs, Trade Sparky MFTs, bold claims, jack chains, uni-frames and fuse box goods. Ideal snicker track suits from a mush and shepherd's bush.
The following episode was recorded back in February before the COVID-19 lockdown and contains content that's puerile even by our standards, so listener discretion is advised. Hello and welcome to another podcast episode on behalf of the Electrician's Guide to Everything with myself, David Savery, and YouTube's Nick Bundy, once again broadcasting from a funny-smelling corner of the rusty backbox public house. And I don't know about you, Nick, but I need this tonight after the day I've had. What have you been up to today?
Oh, Dave. Downlights, extractors, lofts, and then more lofts, unfortunately. So what have you been up to, Dave?
I tell you what, mate, we've had a hell of a day today. It's just been knackering. We've been outfitting a workshop, which has meant, and it's all mechanics, you know, it's all conduits, wiring routes, earth rods, dragging cables. There's hardly any electrics at all. It's all just drilling and fixing and pulling and tugging. And it's all been done as well under the supervision of, you know, when you get a client who wants to watch you doing it, who's got an interest in the work. Not that they distrust us or anything, or think we're going to do a shit job, but they just want to observe
and have their little say.
Yeah, so it's been interesting, but hard work today, hard work. And what are you drinking there, Nick? It looks like badger piss, for Christ's sake.
It's mango J2O.
Oh, yeah, you're on the J2Os again. It's some kind of bitch piss, anyway.
Bitch piss. It's delicious. So, how are you already 4 pints in, mate?
Well, Nick Olsen, I'm on Barry the Bastard Barman's Great Lagers of the World Challenge. The challenge being I have to put away these 5 pints of exotic amber fizziness without taking a piss.
Lagers of the world. So what have you got there, then?
Heineken, Carlsberg, Foster's, Stella and Skoll.
Yeah, okay, that covers all the great regions, I suppose.
Quite right, old sports, and the first 4 have already been demolished, so it's just the Skoll to tackle now.
You're tapping your leg quite a lot. Need a piss yet?
Right, I probably shouldn't have had that extra coffee this afternoon. That's what's doing it. But nonetheless, I'm up to the challenge, Nick, and it's okay, as I have a day off tomorrow to play some Laser Quest.
Laser Quest, right, okay.
I'm going to bring my Fortnite skillage to the Laser Quest arena for the first time. So I haven't played Laser Quest since I became like a Fortnite ace.
Right. I'm
a bastard with the sniper rifle in Fortnite, and I'm going to bring my skills to a Laser Quest challenge tomorrow. I used to play it quite a lot in the 90s. If you were in Coventry in the 90s, there used to be one called Zap Zone over in at the Mega Bowl. So those Coventrians listening might just remember Zap Zone. And back in 1993-94, you'd have found me in there most nights.
I wouldn't have found you because I would have been 2 years old.
Well, there you go. But for those of us who experienced the 90s, it was all down to the laser guns and fun.
To be fair, we down our local, what was, I think it was Mega Pin, no, it was 10 pin, but we've got a Laser Quest. It's just some type of laser stuff, but I just get too excited, and I've had this before, and you get all hot and sweaty, and all of a sudden you just need a poo. Do you know, we used to get that? I used to get it in the back of the warehouse as a kid. I'd run around and all of a sudden go, oh God, I need to go for a poo.
Well, I'll tell you what, maybe I'll need a beery one after 3 rounds of Capture the Flag tomorrow. We'll just have to see how it goes, won't we? I might get caught short and have to go in a corner somewhere.
Disgusting.
Nick, you'll never guess who's just driven into the car park. It's only John Ward.
It never is.
I'm telling you, Nick, it's John Ward. JW himself. He's out of his vehicle. Just look at that stride. That's a man with over 110,000 subs if ever I saw one.
Nah, it's not JW.
Honestly, it is. He's going to come in here and say, hello, I'm JW, and I'm totally going to challenge all patrons to a robust game of darts. Wouldn't that be spiffing, Nick? Darts with JW. Do you think he'll have his own customised arrows?
Dave, that's not John Ward. It's that Nigel bloke you worked with all day. I must say, he's looking rather dapper in that sweet suit.
Oh, yeah, I'd have never recognised him. Look at that beard styling and those waxed moustaches. Hey, Nige!
Oh, you two are here. You want another drink?
No, for once I don't, actually. I do really need a piss, though.
There must be a gents in this shithole.
He can't go until he puts that skull away.
I'm having trouble getting it down my gullet. Who'd have thought that would ever be a thing?
Or sod you. I'm off to the bar.
Bloody hell, Nick. I don't think I've ever seen such a dapper appearance. He's quite the changed man when he's out on the tiles of an evening. Is that a cravat he's wearing?
Is that a paisley pocket handkerchief he's got hanging out as well?
And patent shoes. Look at the shine on those. Nick, have you ever seen a suit that shade of maroon before?
No, I haven't.
I don't think anybody has. Not since the 70s anyway. It's even got, I think it's still got some, it's flared at the bottom. Look at that. Oh, he's been collared by Donald the Drunk. That's going to take him a couple of minutes. He's a different character to what you see in the workplace, though. I don't think I've ever seen him looking that smart. What a transformation.
He even smells good.
I'll tell you what, it's like one of those car makeover shows where a clapped out old banger gets made over into a swish classic with a backseat you'd be happy to fumble your girlfriend on.
I tell you what, it's like them people on the YouTuber you see where they go and find a homeless man sitting in the doorway and they give him a sweet new haircut and give him a bath. Oh, he's coming back. He's coming back.
That's an exotic looking drink you got there, Nige. What is it?
Rum. Can't stay for long. I'm going to the park.
Bit dark for visiting the municipal facilities, don't you think? You won't see much of the herbaceous borders in this failing light. Well, anyway, do take a seat. Not there. Sorry, Nigel. It's just that stool is reserved for old Jack and Banger, his faithful sausage dog. He sometimes joins us for a quick brandy before closing time.
Yeah, he's a bit picky about his stool. You can sit on this one, though, mate.
Cheers.
Nige, we noticed Donald the Drunk spouting off to you at the bar. What was he talking about?
He was telling me about Ideal products.
Ideal Industries. We use some of their stuff, don't we, Nige? We use their splice lines. And what about you, Nick? You are an Ideal man?
Yeah, used a few of the products. I like the through connectors, so obviously for lighting and whatnot. So instead of the old traditional clip from the bottom, push straight through, almost like the modern day crimp, really, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Nigel, I must say, you look very smart tonight. Unlike you, Nick. What the fuck are you wearing?
It's my gym vest.
Gym vest, Jesus. The listeners can't see this, but do you know how this appears? You look about 12 anyway, and you're scantily dressed in a rough pub with two old men buying you drinks and sitting opposite you. You realise the officers on Operation Nutri are going to burst in at any time, and that'll be me and Nige on the nonce wing at Long Lartin before you even get tucked in tonight. You two haven't actually met in real life, have you? First impressions?
Yeah, no.
Do you like mixed tattoos?
I do. My wife's more into tattoos.
Well, Nick, send us some pictures.
Yeah.
I already have.
When you showed me the other day, Nick, that you got some wolf eyes enhanced on your tattoos or something like that.
Yeah, so it's sort of the last bit of the sleeve on my lower wrist, which is the two eyes that he had done. I mean, the owl that I had on my forearms come out really well. It's just a nice, like, flat bit of skin that you'd never damage. But when I got the wolf done, I ended up pulling pretty much both the eyes off, the scabs off, and I put my arm in the floorboard. I ripped them when it pulled all the ink out, so it healed, and I had a blind wolf. So I had to go back the other day and have it all touched up. But
you can actually damage a tattoo, can you, by damaging your skin like that?
Yeah, so obviously, some tattoos, the big tiger on my back arm, that never scabbed once. It'll go sore, as long as you cream it up, it was fine. But it's just sort of sometimes where you have a lot of trauma. So around the eyes and the nose, it was a lot blacker than the rest of the tattoo. So the more trauma, the more scabbing you sort of get. But if you rip the scab off as it's sort of starting to heal and it hardens up, it'll then pulls the ink out the skin.
Did you know Barry the Bastard Barman has West Ham tattooed across his buttocks?
West Ham?
Mm-hmm. I only know this because I saw him bend over once to pick up a beer barrel and the fat bastard's belt snapped. It was like West Ham with a hairy brown full stop between them.
Oh, God.
What does that mean, though? What does that mean? Does that mean he likes West Ham or hates them? If I said to my wife, I've tattooed your name across my skiddy arse, would she be flattered or filing for divorce?
Yeah, I think she'd pick up a hammer and beat you with it.
Nick, have you got anything tattooed across your arse?
Your name. Hey.
I'm asking you, Nigel, because it's been out on YouTube enough times. We've all seen it.
Yeah, fact. You do have the smoothest arse I've ever seen, to be fair.
I do. I'm not a hairy man. I've got to say.
Apart from your head, of course.
Apart from this, it all just comes out of my face.
Well, a most magnificent waxing of the moustaches there, Nigel. You've obviously spent some time on that tonight, and the beard trimming, amazing. It's like landscaping.
Oh, thank you very much. I fancy a bit of topiary. Yeah, I might have to, see if I can do the neighbour's hedge or something.
Going back to tattoos, have you ever had any problems winning work because you look like a chav?
A chav. Oh God, you couldn't have insulted me more. Oh, there's nothing worse than a chav. I have a haircut like Justin Bieber. I'm like the opposite of a chav.
So tattoos are quite commonplace these days, though, aren't they? But if you go back a while, you probably would have found that people may have been put off by such things. Do you ever find that, Nick?
Yeah, my dad always used to warn me about this being self-employed as well. He was a big no-no with tattoos. Sort of at his age bracket, if you got a tattoo, you were, ex-military sort of thing, Navy or Army and whatnot. But when I sort of started looking at getting them done, it was a big no-no. He was like, not under my roof. So I just got them where he couldn't see them and then moved out and then got more. But I'm always under the impression of my friend's a paramedic and he's got it completely covered, like literally, I wouldn't say head, I'd say shoulders to toe, but hands, fingers, everything tattooed. And it's not frowned upon. As long as I think it's anything above the collar, you don't have your face or your neck done, but you're allowed your hands, because most of the time they're wearing gloves anyway. But for us, I mean, I've always been a little bit conscious of it when you go into elderly people, older people, where you've got them on show. But to a degree, if I ever go and quote, most of the time, unless it's middle of the summer, I've got a long sleeve jacket on or something, so you can't really tell. But I mean, it's always been on my impression that you make the customer like you for being punctual, polite, sell yourself. They like you for you. It doesn't matter if you've got tattoos or not. So when I've got the job most of the time, and then I turn up in a bloody vest or a t-shirt and they see them, they don't really say anything. I don't think it's a massive thing nowadays because it's so common. I don't think it's a big thing.
Well, this is it. It's not uncommon, is it? So a lot of people have got them, I suppose, and even the older generation are probably used to them by now. As long as you haven't got all coppers are bastards tattooed across your forehead, you probably get away with it.
You got something at you, Nige?
I have them. All mine, all of them, are absolute shit. They were all done pre-18.
Pre-18?
Yeah, 15 years old I was.
Back in the 60s, though, wasn't it?
That was early 80s.
Wow.
And none of them were done by a professional.
Oh, no. Was it pissed up at a mate's house?
I've got a big one on my back. I used to be a punk back in the day. I had the Mohican.
Nice.
And the attitude. And
you should go back to that.
I've got the name of an album and an Anarchy single all over my back. I mean, it's a fairly big piece at the top of my back. And it's called Troops of Tomorrow from The Exploited. And it's... I hate being reminded it's there,
Oh,
I don't like my tattoos, but they're not going anywhere.
Bro, this is it, isn't it?
I got crap ones on my arms and my legs.
What can you do? It's part of you, isn't it?
If you've got, I know you were saying, someone, Nick, who's got them like pretty much everywhere.
Yeah.
Does it not become frustrating when you've run out of space and you're like, oh, I really want that doing now? And it's a one-shot thing, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I had this conversation with him about 5-6 years ago when he got one sleeve done very quickly, and then all of a sudden started looking at getting the other one done. And I said to him, hands down there, and then why don't you just wait for a couple of years so you know what you want? It took me, I'm 27 now. It's taken me for the past, since I was 18 when I started looking at getting them done. It's taken me this long to sort of figure out what I want. I wanted it to be meaningful to a degree, but cool, and so it matches in with everything. But he sort of went straight in at the start and got a stupid tribal, which he regrets instantly. He's having it laid at the moment, and then from the tribal, he's then got the most gorgeous, like pin-up clown girl's face. You, if you knew tattoos, you know what I mean. And then down to magpies and flat, and it's gorgeous. But then you get literally to here, and it's just a crappy tribal. And he should have waited. He's literally his chest is set. He's got a sailing ship on one side. He's got a lighthouse on the other. His chest is completely covered. Both his legs, both his arms, all his fingers, his hands. And the thing is, he said to me, he says, when you get one done and there's a bit of skin left, you can see there, a bit of skin there, which drives me insane. he says you start forgetting about the ink and focusing on the bare skin that's there, and it is an addiction, 100%. But it's an expensive addiction because it's about £450 a day sitting for me.
Jeepers.
So, yeah, it's not cheap. Well, it is cheap if you have crap ones, or you get your mates to do it when you're 15.
I know a girl who's got a bird on her upper arm, and I just think if she's ever jacking off a boyfriend, it must look like it's trying to fly away. It must look like it's fucking flapping.
Jesus Christ. What do you think about girls with tattoos?
I don't mind girls with tattoos. Yeah, my daughter's got friends who've got a lot of tattoos.
Yeah.
I don't mind a girl with tattoos. Wife's got a couple of little crappy ones like I have. But everyone needs their thing to spend their money on, I guess.
This is it.
If it's what you want, even if it's expensive, you'll do it.
Yeah, my other half's got a half sleeve, like the lower arm. We got mandala type done, which she likes to a degree, but it's one of them things. It's such a big piece. If you don't like it, then you're screwed. You've got to really choose what you want, especially to be on show like that.
Yeah, my wife likes watching that Tattoo Fixers.
Yeah.
Oh my God, they have some dreadful ones on that.
Yeah, I got bored with it after a few episodes. So, where's the pisser in this dump?
Over there, around the bar.
Right to the fruit machine. Crikey, I wish you hadn't mentioned the pisser. I think I'm going to get appendicitis here.
You're only halfway through that skull.
There's no room for it, mate. My bladder is at DEFCON 1. The fucking flood defences are buckling. If I were a dyke, I'd have stuck my finger right in by now.
Barry ain't going to be pleased if you piss on the seat again. He barred you for a week last time.
I'm okay. It's under control. I've got good penis muscles, Nick. My school PE teacher always used to say so.
Brilliant. Oh, hang on. Nige's coming back. He's coming back.
I don't think he's actually used the urinals. It looks like he's been combing his eyebrows in there. Look at that. You could calibrate your laser level on those things.
All right. Good lighting in that toilet. Nice clear mirror too.
Did you happen to notice what poster was up there next to the circus poster?
Yeah, there's a tradesparky.com poster up there.
Tradesparky.com. I've used them. I bet you haven't, have you, Nige?
No.
No, because you've got no reason to, because I have to do all the bloody ordering for this.
That's right, you're the one that does all the buying.
Right, this is it. But if you ever need some electrical stuff for your own home, take a look at tradesparky.com. Nigel, that's a rare name these days, isn't it?
It is.
There's not many Nigels left in the world, and you're one of the last.
There was a convention of Nigels.
There was. Tell you where it was. It was in Evesham, I think, which is quite close to here. And yet, did you attend?
No, I thought I couldn't stand to be in a pub full of Nigels.
It's a fair point.
I just couldn't.
You don't like the name Nigel, then, Nigel?
No, I don't. I'm not sure what I'd prefer. I mean, Dave's a bit common.
Mm-hmm. It's a truck driver's name is Dave.
Nick's not a bad name.
But Nick rhymes with Dick and Prick and...
Yep.
Yeah, did you have that at school?
Constantly. Well, in fact, you use my full name. I've got quite a good posh name, really.
Nickel Arse.
I'm Nicholas Baden Bundy.
Wow. It's better than Al Bundy.
Yeah, or Ted Bundy. Ted Bundy, yeah. I had when I used to work on building sites, I used to leave my hard hat on the side, and I come back after lunch and it's just Ted scribbled all over my hard hat.
So if your surname's Baden Bundy, why have you dropped half of the double barrel?
No. My middle name's Baden.
Your middle name is Baden.
Yeah.
Baden.
What the fuck is
Mind
that?
you've heard of Baden Powell. That's the
That's
only
it.
Oh, I see. Yes.
So
Is it related to the Scout movement at all?
No, my great granddad was Baden Davis, but he was named. So would have been in World War One. He was named after Baden Powell, Scout leader.
Because he was a big thing back then, wasn't he?
Yeah. So I got it was my mom's side. So I'm the second born son. So my brother's got my dad's side's middle name, and I've got my mom's side middle name. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. People used to call me Baden at school, but that died out quite quickly once I left school.
Well, maybe there'll be a resurgence now that you've announced it to the world.
I know, right?
Baden Bundy.
Baden Bundy.
What van do you have, Nick?
Or Transit Custom.
Transit Custom.
It's all wheelbase, yeah.
Yeah, so you like your Transit, do you?
I do. I had a Vivaro before, like the very first shape, because I thought they were a bit ahead of their time the way they looked, the very first ones. But apparently there was a thing where there was plastic in the gearing system, I can't remember what it was called now, but it kept breaking, and then I got a leak on my crankshaft seal. And to repair that, they said, "Oh, we'll take your engine out. We'll have to take. We might have to give you a new gearbox and clutch and blah, blah, blah." I thought I paid £2,000 for the van, and they wanted 4.5 or 5 to fix this leak, and I thought, I'll just get a new one. But then it was either a box Transit or the new custom that came out. So I went for the custom, and I absolutely love it.
I do like my tranny. What you had a van, Nige, when you did your business? What would you have? Was it a Citroen, wasn't it, or something?
It was. It was a Citroen Dispatch.
You can tell how posh Nige's van was. It had a working sink in the back.
Ooh.
It did, yes. Hot water as well.
Was this an old 7 Trent wagon, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. You had to drive it for like 45 minutes to get lukewarm water out of it, you know. But
you didn't have a toilet in the back as well, did you? Because that'd be rather handy.
Well, I didn't have a toilet, specifically a toilet, but I did have. Well, I'd been to Screwfix one day, and I'd come out and I'd been like, "Oh, my guts are playing me up," you know. They were rumbling. They were starting to hurt, you know. At that point.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. It's called the poo shivers. So you get all goosebumpy, and you're like, "Oh, which coming?" Well,
it was just like, you know, I've either got to take a shit or I'm going to shit in my pants, you know. So and it's only a little van. It's, you know, it's not one you could stand up in. So I thought, well, I've just come out of Screwfix. I got a Screwfix bag. I'll get in the back of the van and give that a go. And the thing is, with such a little van, there's no room. There's just so much stuff in there. So I had to straddle one of these rubber buckets. So I've got my legs either side of a rubber bucket, and I'm bent over. And I think, right, I got to take my trousers down. So I undo them, take them down. But because my legs are straddled either side of this bloody rubber bucket, I can only get them down to sort of halfway down the thighs. I thought, fair enough, and rolled this bag up and stuck it between my legs. And boy, did I shit. There was lots of it. The van stank as well, I mean, you know, but you got to imagine it. I'm there, my trousers are halfway up my thighs. I've got this bag between my legs, but how do I withdraw the bag? So I just had to pull it out, and as I pulled it out, I wiped the shit all over my balls because my trousers wouldn't go down far enough. So,
oh my God, how did this happen? We were talking about vans. How did you wipe your arse?
Hang about. So I chucked the bag into the fucking rubber bucket, and I was looking around, and I'm like, and I've got some of those industrial wipes, you know, the big clean oil things.
Yeah.
So I proceeded and did the cleaning duties on my balls and my arse. And I tell you what, that industrial shit is not made to wipe your arse and bollocks with. Because the stinging that I got from it, I was walking funny for the rest of the day. I mean, I was clean. Don't get me wrong, it was clean, but it stung.
Why didn't you just go in the bucket?
The bucket had stuff in it. The bucket had stuff. I was storing stuff in the bucket, so I couldn't. You know, I'd just drop this bag in there.
Holy.
So I got it all tied up in the bag, put it up, and just left it in the back of the van. Thought I'll get rid of that in a fucking bin at some point later. Some guy emptying the bins is going to have a shot. And so I gets out of the van, and there's a guy in the van next to me just getting in. The stink wafts out the side door of the van as I'm getting out. I got a knowing look as if to say, yeah, I've been there myself.
No one else in the world has been there.
Well, Nige, you're not alone, if I'm honest. Been cut short as well, to be honest, like that. And unfortunately, I had the same thing with the wipes, mine had bleach in them.
Oh
my God!
How have you two got the same story? That's horrendous.
Yeah, I was working in the middle of nowhere, and literally in the middle of nowhere, and the plumbers were taking over the toilet and everything out. Customers in the house, and it was just like literally an urge, like, oh my god, and yeah, pretty much same story, but luckily enough, my balls weren't covered in my own poo.
Well, this is the thing, you see, at my age, my balls are probably hang lower than yours.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So,
I'm not sure I want to receive this pint of skull now. This is actually putting me off my pint.
Oh God. I've gone dead hot.
Dead hard, did you say?
Oh, hot. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, that was a good couple of years ago for me. It's not something I want to repeat or get caught short again.
You want to have good control over your facilities, lads, like me and my outstanding penis muscles.
Really?
So what are you going to do with your day off tomorrow then, Nige? I'm laser questing using my Fortnite skillage, but what are you up to?
I'm playing my guitar.
Oh, for fuck's
What I do on my day off.
You see, it's interesting. Nige says that's what he does because Nige identifies himself via his guitar, don't you, Nige?
I do, rather than work.
So
what do you do when you go, I'm an electrician, or I'm a plumber, or I dig shit out of a pit for a living, you know? Why wouldn't you say what you do when you're enjoying yourself most? If you enjoy yourself most at work, yeah. But life with you is tedious and tiresome. So I enjoy myself at home.
Excuse me?
So Nick, what do you do? If someone asks, what do you do, Nick?
Well, I am. Well, if someone was to ask, if I was to answer that the way Nige has, and if I told him what would I be called if I was doing something I enjoyed, I'd be called a wanker.
Oh, yeah. The number one.
Oh, I don't know. I don't. I used to play rugby a lot. I stopped when we were the kids, and I don't really have any hobbies anymore. Believe it or not, I just sort of stopped everything. It just you guys understand. You don't have any spare time, and obviously, since I started doing YouTube, that's then become a hobby on the side. So.
Yeah, it's running a business, isn't it? Just to say, I mean, Nige, you ran a business, didn't you? Because Nige was NKM Electrical of Coventryshire. From what 2013 to about 2016, 17, wasn't it?
Yeah.
2017. And how did you find running a business, Nige? You obviously hated it.
Yeah.
Long hours. Yeah. Long hours, which I don't like because I don't get time to play my guitar, which is what I do. And just people want you to go around after hours to go and view jobs, and then you've got to sit and do bloody invoices and quotes, and that's not me. That's not me. I'd rather have a home life and a work life. Exactly. You see, now if you're into that, and if you're young, ambitious, and that's what you want to put your energies into, that's great. But I'm old, I'm knackered, I'm on my way back down the hill. I'd rather just have a job and coast my way to the end, you know?
Yeah, I should be doing what you're doing, Nige. I'm not young or ambitious or anything.
Just a barrel of whiskey.
But I'm still on the skull here, mate. He's on the whiskey. I know he's on the rum, aren't you?
No, I'm on, a bit of I can't even remember the name of it. It's that good.
Yeah.
Lambs. That's a Lambs. There you go. See if you can get them to sponsor you. Lambs Navy rum. Lovely.
We can't get Harry the Bastard to sponsor us. We've tried to tap him up for free drinks from doing this from his pub, and he won't have it. So yeah, I doubt that Lambs are going to be listening to us. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting, isn't it? Because you say about the long hours working for yourself, and yes, it is a pain in the arse. And yes, you do get people like the ones I don't like are when people say, "Can you come and do this job?" or "Can you come and look at this job?" And you say, "Yeah, sure." When are you available? Oh, anytime after 6. And you think,
"Oh, I know."
Yeah.
Because the way I see it, just because we're tradespeople, doesn't mean that we should be doing some kind of strange hours. It's the same reason that we don't start until 8:30 in the morning. I don't see why we should have any different hours to those pulling down an office job myself. It's a 9 to 5 vocation as far as I'm concerned. And no, I'm not going to be turning up at 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night or on a Saturday or a Sunday to do your job. I appreciate it's convenient for you because, as the client, because you don't have to take time off work and you can be around. But why should I have to take that time out of my R&R time to come and take care of your job? It's like I say, it's 9 to 5 as far as I'm concerned. Anybody who says, well, I work in the week, I'm afraid that they're not the customer for me. And a lot of trades also start early and work late. And again, I think, yes, you're probably raking in the money for that, but at what cost to your health and happiness and home life?
Mind you, I think that's just basic business, isn't it? You know, you're doing that, but you do go out on emergency calls if they come in, especially if they're an existing client.
Potentially, not always. Usually I just ignore my phone if it goes off, unless I recognise the number and think, okay, this is perhaps someone I ought to speak to because I know them, and need to have if they leave me a message out of hours and they're saying, look, I've got this problem, then I will usually respond, but usually pick it up.
I agree with the whole thing. I mean, I get to a stage, I prefer later on in the day than starting in the morning, but I mean, I'd be at a customer's house for 7 if they're up and my family life allowed it, should we say. Because I think it's different between you and me. I pretty much don't do any jobs on day rate at all. It's literally all price. So obviously you got a job a knock. So the sooner I get there and get it done, the sooner I can go home. Most of the time. That's pretty much how I work out. And it was weird when I first took Adam on. It was weird for me to then get through the day and go, oh shit, it's 1 o'clock. Like, do you want something to eat, Adam? Because I just never ate during the day. I just would work through it, get it all done, then go home or go to another job, or then get so hungry you end up at McDonald's and buying 24 chicken nuggets and not eating tea. But yeah, no, I found it very strange to sort of slow down a little bit when Adam started with me, because it does slow you down a little bit. Obviously, trying to show him the ropes and teach him the right way to do things and checking on him and whatnot. But now it's come to the stage where the jobs just fly, because I can just trust him. Go and do that for me, mate. Yeah. Any issues, just give me a shout.
If only I had someone like that to work with.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
We do like to have a lunch break. We don't normally take tea breaks, do we, Nige? We do like to have a lunch break somewhere where you can just sit down and have a coffee. And we normally take it quite early as well. We're normally about 11:30, 12 o'clock, don't we? Because we want to avoid the queues, get in there, have it done, and then get back to site and crack on until such time we're ready to knock off. But
I mean, we don't time it, do we? We don't sit there and shoot the shit. We get in, we eat, and we go back to the site. You know, we do that.
Going back to out of hours calls, though, I do find that a lot of the time when I get a call at the weekend or an evening, say 11 o'clock at night or on a Sunday afternoon or something, it's nothing to do with it being an emergency call out. It's just someone who's making an inquiry about work. They're asking me, can I put up an outside light or something like that? And it's I do think that's a bit disrespectful if it's not an emergency. Do you agree? If you're phoning someone up to speak about a job or get it booked in, and you're doing it late at night or at a weekend, then you're not really respecting that person's right to their own time. Fair enough, you want to log a business query, but do it in office hours. If it's not an emergency, why would you phone someone late at night to speak to them about something that's non-urgent, not particularly important? I'm trying to play Fortnite, for goodness sake, and the bloody phone's ringing.
How's your piss bag? Is it nearly full yet?
Oh Jesus! Don't remind me about it. I don't want to talk about it. I'm having trouble getting this last pint down. I don't know if I'm going to make it, mate, but I'm nearly there. Let's move on to something else to take my mind off it. Nick, go.
For God's sake.
Okay, here's one for you. Dodgy customers.
Okay, yeah. Go on.
So I was listening to Rick and Sam's podcast with Luke on My Trusted Electrician. They had Luke on, and Ricky was saying how he was doing social housing contracts.
Yes.
And, I don't know if you heard this one, but it sounded horrendous. He went to some guy's house, and the guy answered the door in a dressing gown.
Yeah.
The guy on his knees fixing something. He turns around, and the guy's fucking start bollock naked.
For God's sake.
John Thomas dangling in Ricky's ear, and apparently this particular client is known for it, and Ricky had to sort of go out and commandeer a plumber from the agency he was working for to come and basically be backup for him. I mean, he's a big bloke, Ricky. I think he could punch a guy in the cock if it comes to it. If it comes to it. But you know, it's a bit dreadful, isn't it? Now, Nige and I, we have a guy who we haven't heard from for a few months now, who can be a bit of a pest.
Yeah.
We refer to him as Naked Bloke, don't we? Because on the first job I did for him, that sort of situation happened where I'm wall hanging a TV, and I hear this voice sort of at the end of the hallway. I'm wall hanging TV in the bedroom. Hear this voice in the hallway saying, "Oh, you are getting that straight and level, aren't you?" And I turn around to say, "Yes, I am." And he's just come out of the shower and his fucking meat and two veg just dangling there, dripping onto the carpet.
What is wrong with people?
I know. To be fair to him, he is a bit nuts about the nonce. I think he had an accident and it isn't quite all there, which has proven problematic for subsequent visits. Not that he's ever been that extreme on subsequent visits, but he's always done stuff to, especially to piss you off, hasn't he, Nige? He always. You don't like him at all, do you?
I don't like him at all. No.
Very smo when I say we're going to see Naked Bloke today. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah. Well, you go in and remember when we had that guy with us and he was going, some cat shit in the garden. Can you pick it up for me?
Oh, yeah, a cat had shit outside his front door. And you weren't there, were you, Nige? That was me.
No, I was there.
Wait, oh, right. I remember we had Dior with us who worked with us, and we had Cal who was on experience. And he said it to Cal, didn't he? He said, "Oh, can you pick up that shit?" Because it was like on just outside his front door, and we were like, "No." And Cal refused to do it, which is quite reasonable. No, can someone pick up that cat shit from my outside my front door? We were like, and in the end, Dior manned up, didn't he, and got a tissue and picked up the cat shit. And when he got in the van, Dior was like, "That is the weirdest thing I've ever been asked to do."
Talking about cat shit, I've got a horrible, and I mean horrible story. I must have been doing it 2 years into being self-employed, and we went round. It was a changing the bathroom over, so the plumber was already there, and I got this job through my dad, and he said, "Oh, be careful because she's got 9 cats." He said, "Don't leave the door open, whatever you do, because she'll lose the plot." I said, "Oh, okay." Walked in there, speaking to her. She said, "Do you want a cup of tea? I've just made the plumber one." I said, "Yeah." So he's there. I already know him. I'm talking to him, and you can see him going, chomping on this cup of tea. And I'm like, "You're all right?" And he goes, "Nah, it tastes funny." And he goes, "Oh," and she goes, "Oh, I don't know, I might not have put sugar in it or whatever." And he just goes, No, it's not right." And as she's stirring mine, he then tips it, and this lump of cat shit falls out the bottom of his mug as he tips it into the sink.
Oh,
yeah, she'd lined it because she emptied all of the cupboard on the side, and there was literally about 3 or 4 cats walking around, and one of them had shit into the side of the mug, and he drank. Got the
plumber. I tell you what, that cat, he knew what he was doing.
Yeah, mate. He threw up as soon as he realised what he'd done, because obviously once he tipped it in, the smell of cat shit and hit his nose. He started throwing up. I don't do well when people throw up, so I'm there gagging like proper slavering everywhere, trying not to be sick in front of the customer. And she's there going, "Oh, what's the matter? What's the matter?" He nearly punched her, honestly. I've never worked there again, but he did.
Yeah, I mean, we refuse, well, it's probably the wrong way to say it. We usually don't accept people's invitations to make us tea or coffee, do we, Nige? Just not because we're concerned about something like that happening, but
you will now.
Yeah, I will now, yeah. But because we just generally don't drink in the day, other than going out for a coffee at lunchtime. We're not ones to partake in too many teas and coffees.
You just stick to the hip flask, yeah?
Yeah, that's it. I've got my hip flask.
If they've got a decent coffee machine and can stick a latte together, we usually have one. There's certain people that have got nice coffee machines.
Yeah. But the rule is you always check out the kitchen first, don't you? Yeah. And if the kitchen isn't maintained to I mean, my kitchen's certainly not the cleanest in the world, but there's a minimum standard that I go to before I start accepting food or drink from somebody else.
Yeah, I have this when someone offers you a cup of tea and you can see the teaspoon in the corner. That I don't think it's ever been in the wash. It's just been stirred. Tea bag's been stirred and it's been put back on its little dish on the side. And the handle's nice and shiny silver, but the end of the spoon's black. I think, wow.
You see, any builders listening to this now go, "Oh, those nonsense! You can't be a builder's cup of tea. Doesn't matter if it's got sand in it and dirt in it and cat shit in it. I'll drink it."
Yeah, or coronavirus. Yeah, I'll drink it.
But of course, we're electricians, are we not, chaps? We set higher standards than your average builder or plumber.
Extremely high, with names like Baden.
Yeah, don't we, Baden?
No. Well, I mean, talking about bad kitchens, we've seen a few bad kitchens. Not naming any names. There was a particular chap that worked in the food industry.
Yes.
Who had a particularly bad kitchen. I mean, it was... I can't even describe how bad is. You know, you're talking black upon black surfaces and...
It's funny, isn't it, how you come across some people who work in catering, or they say they're chefs, they work in kitchens, whatever, and their kitchens are just pigsties. And you think, well, you obviously must have some idea of basic hygiene. Because you must be keeping your work kitchen clean. Surely that's being inspected. And yet, this is what you're living in. And, you know, you can see that there is filth and insect ingress. And
yeah, but the thing is, it swings and roundabouts. You know, I take quite a lot of pride and joy in my work, doing electrics to people's houses. My electrics are shit in my house. Yeah. How do they say? Never buy a mechanic's car.
Yeah, they say it about builders' houses as well, don't they? Never buy a builder's house. My electrics are A1 because I used this place for my first assessment when I was getting NAPIT accredited, so I made sure that everything was fucking on the nail.
Yeah, no, mine's just my whole house is spur for spur for spur, and then my entire we've got a loft conversion, which was done before we got here. They just literally just spurred off the ring main that runs to another 5 or 6 sockets, and it also spurred down from that then for the lights as well. I look at it and go, yeah, I'll fix it one day.
Yeah, I mean, when I moved into this place, when I looked at the electrics, every single socket was taken from one chop block.
Oh, God.
With a feed coming from the board, and it was wrapped in newspaper. So every single socket went through that one chop block.
Why was it wrapped in newspaper? What do they think they were achieving by wrapping it in newspaper?
A lot of IP rating, maybe.
I mean, that's worse than using one of those stupid little fucking chop box pieces of shit things that the DIY stores sell. But newspaper.
Yeah.
Was it quality newspaper or was it the Sun?
I can't remember, you know. I can't remember. I was just aghast when I was tracing the sockets. Because like yourself, I was doing some work on the house for accreditation and that. And I just came across this. I was like, these test readings are weird as hell.
Well, I found one the other day, you know, and it was it's when I first sort of started off. The whole house had said it had been rewired. It hadn't. Someone had come in, pulled as much cable out of the capping as they could on the sockets. It was a socket rewire. Crimped it, pushed the new cable back down. So if you lifted the floor, it was still old rubber cable. But they charged the woman $8,000 to have her sockets rewired.
Wow.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. And under the floor there was an old. It was a metal. I think it was an air rifle. You know, air rifle pellets tins.
Yeah.
It was a deep one, and it was just someone had just stabbed a screwdriver through each side, stuffed the rubber cable in it, and connector blocked it in there. But with the the old style connector blocks where the plastic had been completely removed, so it was just literally metal terminals that was wrapped in cling film.
Jesus. We should do this as a what's the weirdest junction box you've ever come across?
But was the pellet tin earthed?
No, I think the IP rating was pretty shite on it as well, to be honest.
I found half a yoghurt pot recently, which I put on Twitter. They'd done their junction and then covered it over with the yoghurt pot, and they'd actually cut little slots in the yoghurt pot for the cable entries, but it was just over the top of it. There wasn't
Ideal, if you're listening, Ideal. There we go.
They should have used an Ideal inshore box. One, I don't know. This is pretty common. I think we've all seen this, or certainly a lot of people listening will. Is the old plastic bag on the outside?
Yeah.
Get like a socket outlet, a standard socket outlet, and someone sticks a plastic bag over it. That'll be fine.
I saw one the other day. I think it was on Instagram or Twitter. I can't remember. Someone had fitted it was an outside socket, but it was actually a normal socket, right? So they put the surface-mounted 25mm plastic pattress with a double socket. What they'd done was got a lunchbox, pulled the cables through the back of the lunchbox, screwed the lunchbox to the wall with the socket in it, and then they just used the clip Tupperware container when they wanted to use the socket. They just unclipped it to the front and plugged it in. Get that man a knighthood.
That's great. I'm going to start doing
Some
that.
effort went into that.
I'm very impressed.
Who's that over in the far corner? One selling that gear out of a suitcase.
That's Jimmy the Thief, VAT free source discerning electrical gentleman.
And look, when I came in, he's selling CP Fusebox gear tonight. Type A, Type AC RCBOs, and some good-looking surge protection gear. So you might want to take a look, chaps. We've been fitting CP Fusebox stuff, haven't we, Nige?
Yeah, we have. It's quite nice. I like it.
Yes. It's our go-to brand at the moment.
Fair. Me too. I think of all of it as well. I just love the orange surge protector as well.
Yeah. You want something that says "I am here." A nice bright yellow or bright orange. None of this grey shit. You can stick that up your arse.
Yeah. Fact.
Crikey, I need a tinkle. Nick, give me a subject that's not liquid related, please.
You have an older haircut, but the same type as mine. If you brought it to the side like mine, I tell you what, we'd look very similar. Just sweep your hair to the side.
What? Like this?
You're really flattering him, you know.
That's it. Look, fucking twins.
I've got to get my hair cut again. That's the trouble. The bloody stuff keeps growing. I should be losing it by now, but just can't cultivate a bald spot.
I know. Well, I'm destined to lose mine the way my dad turned out. But to be fair, on my mum's side, my granddad, he passed away when he was 90, and it was later on the years I could tell it was thinning. Like he had a good comb over, but he didn't lose his hair till he was at least 60s, I don't think.
My dad's in his 70s, mid-70s, and he's still got all of his hair, so I think I'll be all right.
It'd be unusual hair, to be fair, Nige, especially all that stuff on your face. I mean, it looks great tonight because you've gone to the effort, but when we go out meeting customers in the day, you look like fucking the tramp's arsehole. I'm surprised people open the door to us half the time. They see me there in my with my swish styling, and they're all smiles, and they see this vagrant standing behind me.
He's just got a coffee cup that they put some coins in, and they tell him to piss off.
And we should do that one day. We should go into someone's house after they let us in. I should say pull the homeowner to one side and say, "Look, I don't know who this guy is. He just followed me in."
Yeah, he's a busker. He's got a guitar with him, and he stinks.
I don't know. He smells alright tonight. He's got. What is it you're wearing there, Nige? What's that cologne you've got on?
Beast.
You say beef? What are you wearing tonight? Beef.
Beast.
Oh, beast. What's beast?
Is that what you're wearing down the park? Is it? You're going to go dressed in that maroon suit?
No, I've got some grrr for taking down the park.
Nige turns up, rubs an OXO cube around his neck. Oh, well, you have a bit of beef.
Oh, God, don't make me laugh. I can't hold this in.
Dave, you just go for the loop, please. You look like you're about to have a heart attack. Well, at least I hope it's a heart attack and not your cum face.
Oh, it's too late, Nick. I think any attempt to move now will be catastrophic. I don't think I can hold it any longer. No!
Oh, my God.
Oh, it's disgusting. Fuck. It's going everywhere.
Nige, shut your mouth for goodness sake. I can't stem the flow.
Oh, God, Dave, why's your fly undone? Shut that stream off now. Use your penis muscles. Use your penis muscles.
Oh, the humanity.
Oh, God, it's all over the place.
Oh, what a relief, though. That was actually better than sex. Has anyone got a cigarette?
Oh, God, Jesus, it stinks. Is that every puddle has a fizzy head on it?
Oh, Nige, I'm so sorry. I've ruined that suit. And you've got all foam in your beard.
You asshole.
Well, we're going to have to wrap it up there so we can all have showers, I think.
Yeah, thanks to your golden shower, you prick.
Sorry, mate, it was the skull that did it.
Anyway, thanks to all of you out there for listening, and we'll perhaps catch you next time.